How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 1st of July 2022. So we're into a new month and I want to go through a few things that I feel may potentially be a catalyst this coming week. We might see some volatility. We may see an increase in volume. But before we get into all of that, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, smash that like button, and let's go over to the calendar for next week because there's something that I want to bring to your attention to make sure that we're aware of this going into next week's, we'll call it trading, right? So on Friday, we have non-farm unemployment change, or employment change in this case, and then obviously the unemployment rate. Friday next week is going to be an interesting day. Now, obviously, what we want to be looking forward to, okay, and this is something that I've always done. Whenever I look at the economic calendar like this and I know what's coming, I start paying attention to price and whether or not price is moving before these announcements, okay? This is a very good indication that if we get movement before it happens, that it's pricing it into the market because the expectation is pretty much bang on, right? So the market pretty much knows what's going to happen. They know roughly what the numbers are going to be. It's an expectation. There's no real news there. And that's why we see these movements before these events occur. Now, obviously, if the market is a little bit uncertain, they're not really sure what's going to happen, then there will be more sort of muted price movement. You can, kind of get more consolidations and a little bit of, lack of volume. Volumes dry up, volatility dries up, and then obviously closer to the event, you generally tend to get, this explosive move one way or another. So that's definitely something we need to be aware of. We've also got non-farm employment change here on Thursday. So above that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, there's not really anything. I know there's the FOMC minutes, but there's not really anything here that's going to cause, an insane, amount of volatility, in terms of fundamental news, at least, right? Thursday, Friday is pretty much where it's at. Now, if we go over to the charts, muted price movement. What's interesting, obviously, we had a little bit of a move down on Bitcoin. It started to accelerate just a little here, and then we can see that we've had this nice response from here. Now, if you're not already in my Discord, the link's in the description below, right? And granted, what I'm about to say isn't public knowledge in the sense that I posted it in the main Discord. I actually posted it in the Patreon side of things, but it still doesn't change what I'm about to say because I know that I've actually posted this level a little while ago. This, and I'll make a reference to it here. This here, okay, I made a reference to this level and I was saying it's an absolute key level. This one candle right here, this down candle, is responsible for a lot of the absorption of liquidity as price was coming into the liquidity pool, down here, and then obviously you get a response away from that. Now, because we've had a decent response away from that, we watch for the reaction when price eventually, if it gets back down there again. And I was saying that this candle is absolutely key, and it's the one candle that's going to tell us whether or not price is going to continue going higher or continue going lower. So far, confirmation of that isn't there yet, but look at the response from this candle. Price came in, and obviously, as always, guys, I mean, I do try to post this information as much as I can way before the event actually happens, because I can see it happening, I can see it's just about to happen, and I try to put it out there before it happens so it validates what I'm saying. My intention has never been to look at me, I'm great at chart reading. It's never been about that, obviously, but I want to put it out there because it validates what I'm saying and it validates the methodology. That isn't about pattern recognition. It's not about statistical analysis, probabilities. It's about understanding the representation of what you're seeing on a chart, right? And as long as you can kind of get past that point, you start to realize that what we're seeing is nothing more than just a representation of the whole. Basically, the entire market is all represented in this, in this Bitcoin chart, for example, right? So we can see that the response from that, candle has been pretty decent, right? And I'm going to go over to Binance, and I just want to quickly show you. So we'll do a Binance 4 hour as well. A little bit, I have to stretch it out a little bit like this and maybe just do, there we go. All right, so we can kind of see where we're at, right? So the response on Binance has actually been a little bit more aggressive. Now, what's interesting, and this is very, very interesting, right? You can see that Binance ran quickly here, okay, to take out this low, and it absorbed pretty much most of the liquidity. There is an imbalance below, but it didn't bother getting into it. It just started to move away from that level. So here's the thing. And to kind of wrap up this analysis session, because I don't want it to get dragged on too much, the most important thing going forward now is that this maintains what it's doing. Yeah, not just on Binance, but on Bitcoin. If we get a move to the upside, and this is a key moment now, if we get a move to the upside and we get back above these highs to start to drive towards 250 on Binance, and if we get a move and we get above this wick, okay, which is currently sitting at on Bitcoin around about 20,900, give or take, then we're probably good, for a drive to 23,000, and it will stabilize the market and stop this downward pressure. Okay, but we have to be patient. Obviously, as always, we are waiting for confirmation. But we're currently in a key moment right now. It's not a game-changing moment, in the sense that if it doesn't happen, it's all doom and gloom and price is going to continue going lower. I firmly believe that price is going to end up going lower at some point anyway. But at the moment, we're trying to figure out whether or not price is going to maintain these levels, stabilize, and just give us a little bit of a breather going into the summer months and obviously into the fall, so sort of September, October time, when we should start to see a little bit more of a pickup. There is an argument to be made that the fourth quarter is when we're really going to start to see the effects of inflation. And at that point, we may very well be into a very clear, or at least a very clearly definable, sort of recession. But at that point, it's going to be something that we would have seen way before it happens anyway. As you guys know, I am on top of this. I am paying attention, and I'm really pleased, to be honest, that a lot of people are starting to pay attention to some of the things that I'm saying, and also learning as well, which is the most important thing for me. People are starting to see it for themselves, which is brilliant, right? So with all of that said, I want to kind of cut this one here. There's not really much else to go into. I may throw something out later. I'm kind of debating whether or not to do a live session. It's not a guarantee, and I'm not promising anything. But if I can get to a live session, for the kind of weekend, I will. I'll do that today. If not, I'll try my best to put a video out. But I'm going to be very, very busy today. Getting some things done for Rematic Finance. I want to kind of get that squared away. And with all of that said, hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic day or evening wherever you are in the world, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. All the best. Take care. Ciao for now.